Hi there, my friend, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking about how creativity is seasonal, and I'm going to be going through the 9 steps of the creative cycle. So let's get to it. To quote a famous reggae song, life is a cycle, you gotta know how to get around. And the exact same thing applies to your creativity. There is a natural creative cycle, and I'm going to be going through each step of these. The 9 phases of the natural creative cycle. Number 1, inspiration, the spark. This is the ignition point. An idea appears, a feeling moves, curiosity awakens. It can feel exciting, electric, alive, and often it arrives unexpectedly. The second phase in the cycle is gathering and absorption. Before full-blown creation begins, there's input. You research, you observe, you listen, you collect references, and you absorb life in general. And this phase can look unproductive from the outside, but it is essential. It is preparing the soil for sowing the seeds. The third phase is gestation and incubation. This is the phase where the ideas develops internally. You may not be producing much yet. There's contemplation, there's dreaming, there's inner processing. This is often quiet and subtle and sometimes confusing. But beneath the surface, connections are forming, ideas are developing, and it's definitely an important step towards the next phase in the cycle. Number 4 is creation and flow. This is the visible output phase. You paint, you write, you compose, you build, you construct. This is a time where energy moves really quickly, time kind of dissolves, and this is what many people call being in a flow state. This is also the phase that most artists prefer to be in at all times, but of course it's not natural. Just like trees don't bear fruit all year, there is a natural cycle here, and you do need to go through and honor each step. The 5th phase of the cycle is refinement. This is where you're honing your craft. And so after the first initial raw creation comes this time for shaping. It's editing, it's adjusting, it's refining your techniques, it's strengthening the structure of whatever it is you're building or creating. This phase uses more conscious skill and discernment, and it's less mystical and more deliberate. The 6th phase of the cycle is completion and release. This is where the work leaves you. You publish, you exhibit, you share, and you let it go as well. This phase can feel uncomfortable because exposure enters. The relationship shifts from being a private matter to a public matter, and it allows for the viewer to gain their own interpretation and understanding of your work, regardless of your initial intentions. The 7th phase of the cycle is reflection and integration. After the release of your work, there is reflection and meaning making. What did this process teach you? How did you change and grow and expand? What worked and what didn't? This is where growth consolidates, and you decide what to take with you and what to leave behind for the next work. The The 8th phase of the cycle is rest. It's where we hibernate in emptiness. This, per definition, is the phase that most artists resist. Energy lowers, ideas quiet down, as well as our intuition, and you may feel creatively blank, which is natural because you're in the phase where there is no output. It's a recovery. But this is natural. It's not any kind of failure. It's recovery. It's a nervous system reset. It's identity shedding. It's the winter before the spring, so to speak. And it's a natural step that you cannot skip. The final phase of the cycle is renewal and reorientation. From allowing ourselves the rest, the time for stillness and recovery, something new begins to stir. Not the same as before, often something deeper, something more aligned, something improved, something that has expanded. And then the cycle can begin again. An important truth. Creative block usually appears in between the release and the rest, or between the shift from rest into renewal. And finally, when we force creation during incubation, reflection, or gestation periods. So what feels like being stuck is often just being in the wrong phase for the expectation we're placing on ourselves. And in that way, it can be helpful to understand that creativity is seasonal. Spring is the inspiration, summer creation, autumn refinement and release, and winter is the rest and transformation. Because we always transmute with each piece of art that we create. There is growth, there is expansion, and there's transformation of consciousness. Life is a cycle. You gotta know how to get around. That's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you.